Shwoom. What's happening, guys? It is midweek, and I have some kind of mixed bills, I guess, to go through. I was hitting up different little local swap meets and farmers markets and stuff like that over the week and over the weekend. So, I have some actual change. Let's get to it. Let's go through these and see if we find anything worth more than face value, or at least is fun to hold on to. So, 2017 $20 note. I like to keep an eye out where they do the color changing ink. They did that in the early 2000s, I think 2003 or something. You can correct me if I'm wrong there in the comments. But they added color changing ink, they enhanced the portraits, and did a few other things as anti-counterfeiting measures for notes in the US. And so they kind of also arose to issues with print around those. Nothing in the serial number or any other part of the note there. On the back of the note, I like to keep an eye out around the repetitious 20s as well as just the print. Nothing going on there. 2017A, huge run of notes for that. And nothing going on there. Back of the note, these were actually pretty good condition. Normally, my bills, if you watch my videos, are all jacked up. Yeah, a little bit of a shift down in the seal on the front of this 2017A $5 note. This thing's seen its day, though. It's real folded up, discolored. All of this is from water damage. I don't know if you can see that really well in the camera, but maybe I'll try to show it to you closer. Nothing in the serial number on it. Especially on the back here, you can kind of see some discoloration where it's bleeding the ink over. And that's just from getting wet, obviously. You've probably had that happen. It's the same when you find ones that have like a blue stain to them. That's generally someone that had the note folded up in some blue jeans, then got rained on or wet or washed and kind of transfers over. Yeah, missing a 5. We were maybe a digit or two away from a broken ladder there. Lot better condition than the previous 5, but still folded up and beat up. 2017A as well. And a little bit of damage up here. For a second I thought it was some stray ink, but it's still not dramatic enough to hold on to. Move along. Yeah, 2017A, I guess, is the series for all of them so far, I think. Yeah, nothing going on. This is just discoloration, a little free. You know, somebody got mugged and there's some blood and stuff and cigarette burns or whatever. But just discoloration. We always find some sort of gunk or goo on it. Yeah, nothing going on here. I like to keep an eye out, of course, for print issues, ink issues, if there's shifts, fancy serial numbers, but so far nothing too stellar. 2017. This, as you can see, is kind of some... It's either bleed through from heavy printing from the back of the word 1, or it's when they stack the notes after cutting. It just kind of transferred over. In this case, it looks like just kind of bleed through. Usually when it's a wet ink transfer, you'll see the word 1 backwards, but you'll see it across the face of Washington. It's actually transposed from the other bill to this one. But nothing going on there. Nothing jumping out on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Missing the 6 and 7. So a few digits away. I was trying to reach for something, but so far nothing in this bill search. 2017A as well. Kind of beat up, just folded up. Condition would be kind of low. If it were collectible, of course. Nothing going on the back. And another 2017A. Got a bunch of gunk. Or, yeah, this is like gel pen. So somebody was just either spilled something or it's... Yeah. Kind of makes it look almost like a hydrangea or a sunflower, sort of. Kind of cool. But I don't think that was intentional. 2017A series. I don't see a lot of them with the over ink here, but it seems like that's well within kind of acceptable range. I've seen them go on eBay for like $3 to $5, but I don't think they're collectible when they have that, just that. I don't really call those an error. And more kind of just damage. There's nothing going on there. Yeah, some 4s, some 2s. Nothing really to call home about. This bill's been wet as well. And you can kind of see how there's a multi-phase printing process for US currency, as the seals, the serial numbers are still pretty vibrant, whereas the rest of this note is really starting to wear off. 2017 series. And okay, just a little damage there. Thought we had a kind of misprint right under, right next to the pyramid there. But just damage. So, moving on. Hey, nice little, whoa, sorry about that. Throwing bills at us. In that kind of place. Nice little star note. And it's got that kind of funky little extra ink on the old digit there. This is a 2017 series, so nice little replacement note. I love me a star note. Essentially, the counterpart to this was damaged during printing. They replaced them. But typically speaking, this serial number is not the same as the one it replaced. We will look this up at the end of this video. I'll show you where you can look it up. And it'll tell us a little bit more info on it. And we can see if it's a little bit more rare of a star note, and it might be worth a little bit of money. But we'll get to that, but it's still really, really cool. I love star notes. You can really come across them pretty regularly, I would say, if you do bill searching. I look through my bills all the time. I also go to the bank and we'll just ask them for, you know, like a strap of $100 in ones and ask for older notes kind of midday and go through those as well. That's really fun to me. But I'm going to set that aside. And 2017A, so we've had a ton of those. This thing is actually a really vibrant print on the old portrait there. And a little bit of damage. Nothing really jumping out. I don't find a lot of things on the reverses, not to say there isn't things to look for. I find more things with ink issues than I do, or just overall like shifts in print, if I do find stuff, than anything else. More so fancy serial numbers or star notes, and then in some rare occasion, really good fancy serial numbers like repeaters and stuff. 2013 series. Lots of 8s, lots of 4s, almost a cool pattern. Too damaged to say anything else about in the back of the note. Beat up. Not too much to talk about. Last few notes, so getting down there. We had quite a bit of ones going on, which is cool. 2017. Nothing going on the front. This is wet as can be, and damage. We're just going to move right on. 2017 as well. Kind of the same thing. Washington's looking pretty sad there. Nothing in the serial number. This thing's all crinkled up, which I know you can't see too well in the camera, but it's also water damage. So if it was collectible, that would definitely take away from value by far. 2021 series $1 note. Nothing going on there. A little bit of wet ink transfer, but not enough for me to hold on to. Last, what? 2, 3, 2? I'll fix this. Whatever. He's here, so we'll do him next. Really crisp $1 note. Probably the best condition so far. 2021 series, really, really clear. So this is a good example of kind of a higher condition circulated note that you would want to hold on to. So if it were collectible is what I'm getting at. The serial number is not collectible, but look how clear everything is printed. The overall print of the note is very centered. It's a little off, but very, very clear. Overall, really, really nice. There's no bends really in it. It hasn't been folded. It's a really clean, circulated banknote. Let me get this other one out of the way. So just a very good example, in my opinion, of a circulated banknote that shows really good overall condition, and one that if it had some collectible feature to it, I mean, look how clean the lines are, how vibrant the print is. Good looking note. Last but not least is that other one we kind of skipped for a second there. Nothing in the serial number. This one's a bit older, 2013. Been wet, been beat up, but still worth $1. So I'll use it to get a soda on the way to work or something, or at lunch tomorrow at work. But I'm not going to hold on to it. What did we hold on to? A nice little star note. Let's take a look at a website where we can see some more info on it, and we'll kind of see if it's a little bit more rare of a replacement note. And I'll put that info in a comment as well. But let's check it out. So over on my currency collection, we can see that after we search the serial number, it'll show us a bunch of info on the star note. This one is of a 1.92 million run size and is one of your regular notes. So it's probably not going to come back as anything super special comparatively to other star notes. So I'd put it in the value of only a couple bucks over the face value of $1 to the right collector. It's just not as sought after of a star note or replacement note comparatively to some other ones. Thanks for watching and hit subscribe.